Welcome to the channel. It's Jack, the muscle and mobility maker with Stronghold Strength and Conditioning. And today, we're going to be showing you how to resolve those nasty shin splints that you have. But before we get into it, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine, and it doesn't get better than that. So jump on it. Ready? Let's go ahead and dive into this one. Alright, like I said, today we're going to be taking you through a quick mobility routine to help you resolve your shin splints. But before we get into it, it's an important thing to understand why we're going to be taking the approach that we are taking and how this is all going to work. So the first thing that you need to know is that shin splints are caused by an imbalance between the calf musculature, the gastrocnemius and the soleus, and those muscles in the anterior compartment of the shin, which is that front lateral portion of your leg that almost kind of overlaps with that back portion. And that imbalance is that the muscles on the back side, the calf muscles, are largely stronger and more trained regularly than those of our anterior compartment in the shin there. And what we find is that that imbalance starts to pull that anterior compartment away from the shin, making it painful and tender and inflamed and all that good stuff. So what we need to do to actually fix that is bring that balance back into place between the anterior compartment, which causes the action of dorsiflexion, and that posterior compartment, the calf muscles that go into plantar flexion, where you're pointing your toes. And that is what we're going to be focusing on today. Ready? Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this one. All right, so to reiterate, again, our focus is going to be stretching and strengthening that anterior compartment of the shin so that we're able to bring it more into balance with the calves. We're going to start here on a step, and this is something that we can scale up or down from here. But the step is kind of a good mid-range to begin with. You can kind of control that range that you're working with. So if you need to scale this back, what you could do is put your back against a wall and simply do these with your back against the wall, raising your heels from the floor. Here we're adding a little bit of drop below level, which also increases the range of motion that we're strengthening. I think it's a good thing. You should probably do it too. So here we're going to do 10 to 15 reps to begin, 3 sets of those just to get ourselves going into a good position, really feeling those anterior parts of the shin flexing each time we're raising those toes back, and then seeing how far we can actually drop our toes toward the wall. You'll see as I raise my feet up, my toes should splay, and as I drop them down, my toes should curl and grip toward the wall there. Now, again, anterior compartment strengthening can come in different ways. We're going to show you a few varieties here that I like to use. Walking backwards is another one that you could use in this situation to simply, again, use more of that anterior part of the shin and start to build more of a muscular endurance there so it can combat the back muscles, those calf muscles there. Alright, this next one I'm showing is a pretty simple one, sitting seiza, but we're going to add a little bit of a hip thrust to it. So first of all, if you can't get your plantar flexed foot flat to the floor like this, that's a big sign that we have room for growth in your ankle mobility here. So the flexibility of those tissues to be able to get into this fully planted position is helpful. Now you notice that video in the bottom left corner that popped up is showing me with something on my leg. That is called voodoo floss. If you've never heard of it before, it's a pretty fantastic tool that will help you, and I highly recommend it. Honestly, you could add it to any of these exercises while you do them. So you would wrap the leg first like shown there, and then you would do these exercises while it's on in that range that is giving you discomfort. The way that it works is blood flow restriction and self-myofascial release. So here we're decreasing blood flow for the time being while we're doing the working sets, and then we're going to be drawing in a big flow of blood that's going to bring in growth hormone and heal those tissues. So that is a big factor in what we're doing with the voodoo floss, and you can get it for like 25 bucks from Rogue Fitness if you have that opportunity. I highly recommend it and using it in all of these. All right, the last one we're showing here is going to be a kettlebell You could do dorsiflexion, plantar flexion move, and we can also add rotation to it, and I like it for that fact as well. So I'm actually holding my leg up, hugging it to my chest while I work here, right behind the knee. And first we're going dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. Again, similar to the steps here, but we can actually add load. And now I want to work through a full controlled articular rotation of that ankle joint. So my goal is to see how big of a circle I can actually create, actively working through that range as I control the weight of the kettlebell in this position. Now, if that's a little uncomfortable for you, you can also use resistance bands to create a similar effect here. The problem I find with those is they roll off the foot, and other ways of loading are the monkey foot. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but you could attach the weight to the bottom of like a boot-like structure. So those are options, but this is one that you could do that's a little bit more straightforward, I believe. All right, and there you have it. A quick mobility routine that you can be doing on a regular basis to help you resolve those shin splints and make sure that they don't come back again after that. If you like this video, make sure you let me know by clicking that big thumbs up down below, and take a moment to share this one with a running buddy of yours who struggles with shin splints or has had them in the past. They might need it, and it's worth sharing their way. If you're somebody who struggles with reoccurring training aches and injuries, or you simply want to improve your mobility to help yourself resist injury, prevent injury overall, and you want to do it in the next 12 weeks, what I want you to do right now is drop down below in the description here to fill out the coaching application and schedule your mobility blueprint call. This is going to be a time for us to actually assess where you're currently at. We're going to develop your blueprint, your mobility blueprint, and then we're going to go ahead and discuss all the details of how the coaching will work and move you forward from there. So in 12 weeks or less, we can have you moving better or moving pain-free, depending on where you're at with your current training state. And if that sounds good, right down in the description is the link to schedule that call. Last but not least, if you have not already, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine, and it does not get better than that. Welcome to the Stronghold Army. We'll see you next week.